As Ghana joined the rest of the world to celebrate World Autism Day today, mothers with children suffering from autism have appealed to the government to put structures in place at the educational and health institutions to support them take care of their children. The mothers say, irrespective of their disabilities, all children deserve the right to enjoy quality education and health care services.
Autism spectrum disorder is a group of developmental disorders. Any child or person with autism may suffer challenges with behavior, communication, and social interactions. The person may also have sensory difficulties or challenges with development of the brain. They have difficulties in reading body language, and unlike other children, autistic children do not react to faces or facial expressions. While some show special talents in particular areas, some will have to work extra hard to even become independent. Doctors advise early detection of the condition in children to enable a parent identify the type of support required to handle each autistic child. Mrs. Mary Kufuor did not know her daughter had autism until she was 3 years old.
Around 3 years, yes. I noticed that the few words that she used to, say, she lost it. So there was no mama, there was no water, like I want water. And then one thing I saw was she was more and more quelling to herself. So she would play by herself, she would flap her arms, when she's excited, she would just keep flapping her arms. Sometimes I would see her looking at things from the corner of her. These things were not too right, to me as a parent. So between the 3 and 5 years period, when she was 5, we went to hospitals. They would say, oh, you are just a worried mom, enroll her in the mainstream. She will talk when she starts socializing with children of her age, blah, blah. We did all that. There were no answers, actually. There was a doctor at 37 who directed us. She also saw that, okay, from all the things you're saying about your daughter, she's lost her speech, she has poor eye contact, she's flapping her arms, she has poor attention, she's running in circles. All the things you're saying and describing about your daughter really fits into the autism spectrum.
She tells GBC 24 how expensive it is to take care of her daughter, Nanaya.
I kept looking at her and said, what can she do? I don't want to raise a daughter who would be a burden on society someday. What can she really do for herself? And I saw that her beauty is beyond her disability. So I personally got myself a professional camera. Yes, I invested in, a Nikon camera, the D series. I bought one. I got a tripod. I got the lens that could capture from a distance, and I got a photographer. I said, look, on a daily basis, I want you to come spend time with Anaya. Let's see if she will learn to look in the camera. And these are the results that you see, over there. So I have tons of pictures. I'll just encourage her, walk nicely, because I was looking at, she could be a photo model, for clotheslines, or there's a lot she can do with this nice skin tone. You don't need so much work.
But for Miss Elizabeth Tete and Ma Christie, this is just a luxury they cannot afford.
No easy. Obi pa chense mu na mekwa kotwitwi ansana abanye bi edi tiase tiskasem milizipa die mini obia.
The Woodfield Manor Autism School is one of the few private institutions which gives training to children with autism. The founder, Miss Cornelia Boaten, who herself had 2 children with autism, said it is time Ghanaians know that these children have great potentials.
Changing minds to realize that the children have huge potential. I keep drumming on about, in America, they have seen the potential in these children. The fact that when you go to Silicon Valley, most of the children putting together all these computers that we use daily are what we call nerds. Most of them are on the autistic spectrum. And they know that because of the way their brains are wired, they are able to do so much more, and with preciseness, with perfection. Unlike the ordinary me and you, we are thinking of our families and other things whilst we are working. So we'll do our maximum, but it's not always the best. Whereas these children, you give them the thing, they focus on what they are doing, and they do it to perfection. So America is tapping into that. Israel is tapping into the children for coding. So the children do all the coding for their war issues. They go around autism schools and select the extra super children who can do coding, and they use them. And what are we doing in Ghana? We are killing them. It's very sad.
A neurosurgeon, Dr. Ebenezer Beidu, appealed to government to extend support to parents with autistic children.
It has to recognize that we have this condition, and they need all the state resources. If you have to make several visits to either a hospital or a community clinic or whatever, because of all the problems that you have, that is a toll on a parent, and we need to start looking at that. That look, this group needs to be also supported. There are a lot of resources that they need, and they can be quite expensive. I mean, you don't expect a parent to provide the specialized resources that we now know of that exist. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander, isn't it? So if elsewhere people are benefiting, then the state should now take an interest in setting up at least some areas of excellence. And then if you have a child born in Ghana, it's like, yes, I can take my child here, get a good evaluation, and then get good support. So it is time that Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, they need to bang their heads together over a condition like this.
Research shows that of the 7.2 billion people living on Earth, about 45 million have an autism spectrum disorder. It is still not clear whether vaccination can be a causative agent of autism. The World Health Organization believes creating awareness about the disorder can help integrate autistic people into society.